Here's a question that I genuinely love getting because the answer surprises almost everyone. Do you need a lawyer for divorce mediation? Yes and no, but for different reasons than you might think, okay? So no, you do not need a mediator. You don't need an attorney, a lawyer, counsel to attend mediation. You can attend by yourself. Happens all the time, and it happens with amazing people. People do great. They feel very satisfied. That's how I measure the result. They feel they're proud of themselves. They reach agreement that they feel very satisfied with. They feel proud of. They feel like it's fair and equitable and all the like. So it happens all the time when people represent themselves. Similarly, it's also the case that you might want, it might be really helpful for you to have counsel during mediation or before mediation or after mediation. And here's why. I am a mediator. I am not your lawyer. I am not the other party's lawyer. I'm not explaining, giving legal education, legal advice to both of you collectively. I don't represent you. I can't represent the conversation. I don't go to court with you to communicate what your intentions were. My neutrality as a mediator is the entire point and benefit and perk of our whole arrangement as a mediator with parties. So I don't advocate for anyone. That's huge to know because oftentimes people have questions about, hey, what does this mean? Hey, what does that mean? Hey, I'm not quite sure. Hey, we're stuck. I don't know how I should feel about being stuck. And in those instances, when you need an advocate, when you need a legal advocate in your corner, it's really helpful to know that you have options of having counsel. And again, it could be that you go to mediation in the session and you're negotiating by yourself without an attorney because you know your life, because you know your kids, because you know your finances, because you're trying to keep costs down. And then afterwards, just like if you're buying a car, you can negotiate the price maybe beforehand by yourself, and then you take it to a mechanic just right before you sign on the dotted line, the purchase agreement. You take it to an attorney or a tax advisor or a financial advisor or friend or family for advice or for drafting or for counsel or for a second opinion or for a third opinion. So it really is one of those situations where it is both and from what I've seen as a mediator, again, this isn't legal advice for you or advice for you. People are weighing pros and cons when they're deciding, do we need counsel? Do we not need counsel? They're weighing how comfortable and competent do I feel with the material, with the finances? How comfortable and confident do I feel advocating for myself? Is there a power imbalance, right? And this goes to when folks involve attorneys. If one party brings an attorney and the other party doesn't feel comfortable with that because there's a power imbalance, sometimes the other party will also bring an attorney to make the power more equal. If the parties are discussing complex financial assets or debts that they are struggling to understand, example, small business finances, small business valuation, they might bring counsel or they might consult an expert post facto. If something doesn't feel right about the disclosure process, people might bring in counsel. And these moves don't necessarily blow up mediation. I don't think anything necessarily blows up mediation. It goes to at the core of the participants. Do they want to keep the process inside of mediation and outside of court? That's the key. And how comfortable are they communicating that to all of these parties who they might bring in for support? So from my perspective as a mediator, it is not required to have counsel. It is not required that you abstain from counsel. It is the discretion of the parties per their circumstances. If you guys have specific questions about Flannel People Mediation, about how we run mediation, that's what the free consultation is for. Go ahead and grab it at flannelpeoplemediation.com. We're an all virtual mediation practice. My name is Ryan. I'm a mediator, and thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and follow for more.